I'm interested to see levels do not mean anything at all. And
Level
looking up
80
his rank,
Cassidy though, jeez.
looking at J6MK2's rank, he is ranked 147 in the EU region as of this moment. Has been diamond, but right now he's 1948 elo. Has a lot of rank games, and I don't think he's that noob, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes on Thunderguard.
Yeah.
Definitely not new to playing Brawlhalla competitively. Both weapons spawn, and snackxs able to find the first one, gets the guns, but a down air actually comes out from J6, putting on a decent amount of damage on the Cassidy. Gets that, excellent scoop into a weapon toss recovery, and J6 already showing that unarmed combat that I was talking about that I'd like to see from Scarlet. So he's able to make a creative combo, but that recovery comes out, punishes J6 for fishing for that down air. Weapon toss comes out, goes for neutral air himself, and that GC neutral sig actually connects with snackxs on the very bottom of the hitbox. snackxs finding that neutral light from the guns. Weapon toss comes out once again into a neutral light. Ooh, GC neutral light coming out from the lance, and J6 is landing some creative options on snackxs Cassidy.
J6 has just some, yeah, really cool options that he's doing right now. Oh, but snackxs, he's the guard against just like, and just, you know.
Yes,
Like,
snackxs is actually dealing with the options that J6 is throwing out quite well. But the neutral stick actually comes out. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of GC moves. It's not just signatures. J6 is actually maneuvering around the map and just using the air as his ground, as he's able to throw out all these moves that you normally would expect him to be able to do in ground-based combat. It's actually doing quite well. Weapon toss comes out, doesn't get any follow-up, but it doesn't matter because he doesn't get punished for it either. Goes in for that GC neutral light. That's what I'm talking about. He's just pressing the dodge key and using an attack right afterwards, no matter what it is, and usually they're actually connecting. Weapon toss comes out again, hitting him with the back part of that lance despite facing the other way, and J6 gets hit by a recovery into a neutral light. Ooh, catches the ball, tosses it into his face, gets him with a neutral air into a weapon toss, goes for that recovery with a lance himself, and stocks are pretty even right now.
wow, snackxs goes for another recovery. I definitely feel like J6 is scaring snackxs with these strange options. As you can see, he just did wow. Goes for a simple ground pound. I'm giving up. I can't even speak. I don't understand what's going on.
Yeah, J6 was actually able to do really well with that ground pound too, because he was able to get that hitbox in between the gun hitbox recovery, like the recoveries from the hitbox with the guns actually, and was able to hit Cassidy on the head as he was coming back up. J6 gets hit by that GC neutral sig, doesn't actually kill him off the top, but that's actually devastating as it comes in from snackxs. Dodges out of the way of that nair, and a side air connects. snackxs evens it up immediately, 1-1. But J6, it's going to be interesting to see what he's able to do with these weapons once he's actually able to find one. snackxs denying everything that he can, goes in for that down air. Ooh, J6 gets him with that D-light, but doesn't get any recovery follow-up, but snackxs is able to respond to it quite well. Neutral air is coming out, preventing J6 from approaching in the air, but he's not getting hit by anything, and the side light actually comes out, or side air rather, from the lance. Nice reverse neutral light GC from J6, and a down stick comes out. J6 holding onto the lance. I'm expecting him to toss into his face really quickly. Hits him with the butt of the lance. Picks up another lance and lands with a neutral light, putting snackxs into the orange. Goes for that GC down sig. Doesn't get punished. And a weapon toss into a haymaker. Doesn't quite work out. snackxs gets him with that side light into neutral airs. J6 goes for a reverse down light. Tosses the lance out of the way. Holds onto the hammer and gets punished by that GC neutral sig.
That's a really smart option. I love it when people do that. Just go under the platform and, you know, just toss the guard against neutral sig. It's just so safe. You can't get punished for it. If you miss, you miss.
Ooh. J6 barely, or it's deciding not to dodge into snackxs neutral sig read. Another neutral sig read comes out, and these are really scaring me. Cassidy's last, so definitely a good move for killing. And dodging in place doesn't actually get him out of harm's way, as snackxs brings him in and smacks him away with that hammer. Takes the first game, but a very interesting performance from J6's Scarlet.
Yeah, super interesting. I feel like if I was in snackxs' position, I would be very scared, because when you play against a player and they start doing options that you haven't seen too much before, you're like, I want to play normally against you, but I can't. And that's very hard to do if you're not that used to competitive games. So, props to snackxs for clutching it out.
Clutching out indeed. He found a lot of recoveries. In fact, J6 was playing almost entirely in the air, and snackxs was just taking advantage of that by being able to throw out a bunch of neutral airs that weren't connecting, but definitely weren't getting him punished either. And the recoveries were actually connecting more than anything else, and that puts a lot of damage on the Scarlet. Gun recoveries are not only great kill moves, but just great moves for landing on damage if you're able to get those comfortably. And here we go, both players sticking to their legends as we move on to game 2 on a Blackguard of all things.
Blackguard is actually a really smart choice for J6M right now. I feel like Scarlet on Blackguard is very scary.
especially with how comfortable he was in the air. Goes up for that GC neutral light, picks up the lance. I'm going to expect him to toss this into his face pretty soon. Throws that neutral light into weapon toss into his side air. Down air comes out. Side air also connects. Goes in for that neutral stick, just almost for movement. I feel like uses the side stick to move around on the map, just being able to use Scarlet. Gets that GC neutral stick and actually puts Snack into the orange. Waits him out with that move. Has the hammer in hand. Trying to get out of the way of these neutral airs from the guns. Gets out of the way of the recovery so he doesn't get hit. But still a lot of damage coming in from that down air, side air from Snacks. And he's able to read that dodge in with the recovery. And that's what I'm talking about. Snacks, even though he was at a deficit at the start of this stock, was able to find those gun aerial moves. And J6 is already into the red and in kill percent.
And Snack's just hunting for these recoveries over and over again. Seems to be working, so why stop? But
weapon toss.
You gotta respect the player.
Comes in. Another weapon toss leads into a neutral light, and J6 is slowing it down a little bit. Tries going for a side or a punch that recovery. I really feel like he should have killed there, and gets hit by another recovery. Snacks really throwing out that up heavy with the guns.
Yep. Definitely feel like Snacks' victory right here, or win condition, is these recoveries. If he can get them, he wins.
And J6 is kind of playing right into them, whether it's on the ground or in the air. Weapon toss comes out from Snacks, being able to play with a little bit of unarmed of his own with that hammer. Calls in another weapon. It's a second hammer. Goes in for a side air, and J6 needs to end the stock pretty quickly. He was able to get a lot of damage on early on, but like he's losing. He's not finding these weapon toss into kill confirm follow-ups. He's just finding into more damage, and now he's just throwing out side air after side air. J6 tosses the weapon, goes for the haymaker. I feel like that was supposed to be a recovery follow-up, missing his jump input. Goes in for that neutral air as he lands, but that doesn't kill Snacks quite yet, and he holds onto the hammer, tosses it down. He's not finding anything right now. Snacks holding on to the guns, goes for that neutral air, using the guns as effectively as he can. Cider comes out, nearly puts Scarlet into the orange, into the red now as another recovery hits, and Scarlet's finding himself at a point where he's about to lose his second stock. Neutral air hits, doesn't actually connect, or doesn't actually kill him off the top, and J6 is a solid stock behind at this point.
Wow. Goes for the simple Sair and takes him out. I feel like J6 is a solid player, but you can definitely see that Snacks is just way more experienced than him. Although J6 does get the KO right here, J6 really needs to get these KOs a lot earlier. All he does is he keeps hitting him, keeps doing damage, but doesn't KO.
I like that though. Neutral light coming up from the lance into a weapon toss to force Snack back onto the ground and finds a neutral light with a hammer that he just picked up. But Snacks is able to return the damage quite easily with the unarmed. Wow, the bomb just casually jumps into Snacks' face, hits him with the weapon toss as well. Goes for a neutral sig follow, but Snacks taking a good amount of damage on this second stock. Gets hit by the weapon toss and actually puts him in a position to get the weapon toss into a neutral light. J6 just loves using these neutral lights with both these weapons. Those 3 hit combos coming out and doing as much damage as possible. Recovery connects, down sig thrown out, neutral air hits into a weapon toss, and J6 is actually doing a great job on this last stock.
Wow. I think it's just too late. That's the issue.
Ground pound comes out, and Snacks just won out on all of that